I just finished high school, and something that I struggled with a lot throughout it was loneliness. And it wasn't like I didn't have friends or anything. Like I had a good bit of friends throughout all of it. Like I was around people, I could speak to people. I did fine with girls and stuff like that, but there was always something, there was always one thing that kept me feeling lonely. And it took me so long to realize what that was, but I did. And I think that the thing that kept me feeling so lonely was the fact that I I couldn't let anyone in. Um, I couldn't let people see me. I I used to be like a very awkward kid, and so I would like go through all the steps, build all the social skills and stuff. And that's the me that I would present. Um, and I wouldn't let anyone see the struggling kid inside who was still nervous and stuff like that to go up to people. And so that kept me feeling so lonely. I was literally isolating myself for no reason. You may ask, what do you mean by like let people in? I really realize that you have to be able to be vulnerable. You have to be able to let people in your mind, let them know what you're thinking. Because how could you possibly not feel lonely if you're not letting people in here? You can be around all these people, but if you're bundling up everything inside, all the emotions and stuff, you're bound to feel lonely. You're bound to feel like there's no one around you because there's no one there with you in your head. There's no one there for you if you don't let them be. And I know it's scary. I know so well that it's scary to let people see that person in you. If you build up this character that you like, if you gain all these skills, if maybe you're successful or something, it's hard to let people see that you are still struggling and stuff. You don't want to do that because maybe they won't think you're as cool as you think you're presenting yourself as, or maybe you think you'll lose something. And I'm going to be honest, it's possible. It is definitely possible that you open up to someone and they reject it. They don't like the person that you really are. But you need to be, you need to, I guess, love the real you. You need to be okay with who you are. You need to be okay with the fact that you struggled. And, and if you are, and someone rejects that, you'll be okay because you'll just know that they weren't meant for you. And people get stuck in that a lot. People get stuck in feeling like they aren't enough, feeling like they aren't good if someone rejects them after opening up. And that's why so many people don't ever do it because it's scary. I was stuck in this like state of not being able to let anyone in for a while because um, I was dating this girl my sophomore and my junior year, and things were going good for like about a year or so. Um, and it was all right, but a lot of problems came up and stuff, and I think deep down I realized like that I didn't want to be with her anymore. But I couldn't admit it. I couldn't admit it to myself, the people around me, to her. I would just deny it because I was so scared of letting people see that, because she was this like super nice, sweet girl, and I was scared of looking evil. I was scared of being human, I guess. I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to not have problems. And so I stayed. I stayed for so long, and that was probably the most lonely time of my entire life because the thing at the forefront of my life The thing that I struggled with most, these inner feelings that I had, and they were so real, but I wouldn't let anyone know. No one knew. Um, and that's such an isolating feeling when you just don't tell anyone these things that are going on. And that was I think the main cause of most of my loneliness. But it got to the point where like people were starting to realize that it was pretty bad, and then I finally did end up opening up to one of my friends, and I just told him everything, basically, like how I was feeling, how I like don't really think I want to do this anymore. And it was weird because I couldn't really explain why. I didn't have like a great reason. I just didn't really feel it anymore. And that was another part of what was so hard to open up about, because like I couldn't explain it to people. Couldn't explain why I didn't want to be with this like nice sweet girl anymore. So I was going to look evil, but I did, and it felt so good. I felt so connected and so alive. Um and it felt so, I was annoyed with myself because of how long I spent in isolation. And so the day we broke up was really bad because it just kind of all came out. Like, I didn't know how to explain it, but it had all been built up for so long. Like, nothing really bad happened on that one day, but it was just like I was done. But just being honest and letting someone in felt good. And it doesn't even have to be on that big of a scale. You just need to stop isolating yourself. If you feel things, it's not. It's so romanticized, I feel like, to be alone and be like, oh, I don't tell anyone anything, I'm cool. But and you wonder why you feel lonely, because you can be around people all the time. You can surround yourself with so many friends. You can have a girlfriend you can be in a relationship and still feel extremely lonely because you aren't letting people in, and you're basically just denying your true self. And that hurts that true self in you, and makes you feel lonely. So throughout my years of high school, it was hard to realize that, you know, because the normal answer to loneliness is you're not around people. You are physically lonely, like you are alone, literally. So surround yourself with more people, go out more, do more things. And well, in some cases, yeah, that will help. You won't feel lonely in those moments, and you won't literally be alone. But the true answer to like not feeling like you're alone in things is letting people in. So I just encourage you guys to talk to if you have like good parents, talk to them. Like, I talk to my dad all the time about these kinds of things. Like, I let him in, and to know that someone in my life knows the real me and then sees that and still loves me, just that takes that loneliness away. And I have friends that stay with me through my struggles, even when, I've been assholes to them and stuff. But the fact that I can let them in and help them understand that I'm going through things is just such a good feeling. So I think that's why a lot of people feel very lonely, is they just cannot let people in. They're so scared of opening up to people. But yeah, that's what I would say to my old self feeling lonely, is accept the feelings that you have. Notice that they're real. Don't just put them away. They're not going to go away. Open up. That's it.